Hailing from the frigid lands of Banuk, far to the north of the Nora's sacred lands and northeast of the Karja Sundom, the Banuk are a decentralized nomadic people known for their mysticism and skilled hunters. The Banuk are recognized by their warm, colorful clothes, which help them stand out to fellow hunters in the snow, and elaborate headdresses. The Banuk shamans stand out the most of all, as they thread luminescent cabling from machines directly into their own skin, and often bare their skin despite the cold. As a nomadic people, they generally live in tents that are as colorful as their clothing, save for some settlements such as Song's Edge, created as trading posts for outsiders. That is not to say Banuk is bare of permanent signs of the Banuk civilization. The tribe is well known for their practice of marking cliff faces with colorful geometric art for remembrance or religious purposes. In Banuk, there are painted cliffs that have been maintained for generations, repainted again and again with the same patterns. To change or paint over them would be sacrilegious. According to their oral tradition, their tribe was founded by a woman named Banukai. They say Banukai was the first to crawl out of the cave beneath the world. She led her people through the frozen wastes, pursued by the Ravenous tribe, a tribe of cannibals that devoured their enemies. She had a prophetic dream of a calming blue light behind the world, and a vast herd of machines filled with the same blue light. Her dream led her to a temple where she communed with the blue light, and took it into herself. She was wounded by the experience, but the machines helped her. She sewed her wounds shut with the cables and covered them with their plates. When she returned to her people, they had been surrounded by the Ravenous tribe. When Banukai attacked, the machines charged with her. Her people fashioned weapons from fallen machines and joined the battle. The Ravenous tribe was defeated, but Banukai fell. The machines bowed their heads in mourning, and the blue light rose from her body into the sky. Her people remember her in the name of their tribe, the Banuk. Their shamans say that the blue light is the essence of life and harmony. It animates the machines, its chosen vessels, but struggles to survive in the corrupted human heart. The shamans thread cabling through their skin in the hopes of making themselves better vessels for the light. These shamans spend much time studying and attempting to understand machines. They claim to be able to sense the presence of machines. Shamans also advise chieftains, perform rites for the dead, and give thanks to machine spirits before harvesting parts. Shamans are somewhat mysterious even to the Banuk, as they rarely discuss their business with anyone but other shamans. As cultural and spiritual leaders of the Banuk, a group of the tribe's most influential shamans called the Conclave convenes annually at a place called Malmstrom, where a collection of machine components considered most sacred by the Banuk are stored. Or rather, they were stored there until recently, when a man named Silence, presenting himself as a shaman from an obscure band, was invited to the conclave, but instead looted the caves and absconded. In recent years, the derangement of the machines, the phenomenon of the machines becoming more aggressive and dangerous, has challenged their faith. The shamans find they can provide fewer answers, as it seems the machines are angry, and the blue light fades from the world. This has caused strife in Banuk, as the Banuk's trust in their shamans has been shaken. Despite these doubts, shamans are still a crucial part of most Banuk bands, which are called weraks. A werak is a highly mobile group of hunters, led by a chieftain and counseled by a shaman. The oldest, most prestigious, and largest weraks stay in the heart of Banuk, but smaller weraks can be found in the border regions to the south. Any group of young hunters can leave a werak and start their own, so Banuk society tends to be fluid in that regard. The chieftain of a Werak is determined by a test of skill. Anyone can challenge a chieftain by throwing their spear at the chieftain's feet, and if they triumph in a ritualized contest, they will become the new chieftain. This reflects the sense of meritocracy that permeates Banuk culture. Banuk are not made members of a Werak by birth, rather they are expected to complete a trial to earn their place, which must be completed alone. The Banuk approach every challenge in life as a test that proves their worthiness of survival in their harsh environment, and it is important that each member of a Werak be able to pull their own weight. This sense of meritocracy means there are no gender role restrictions among the Banuk, unlike most other tribes. Even outsiders are not prohibited from joining a Werak or challenging a chieftain. Skill is paramount. For this reason, the Banuk will tend to scoff at suggestions from outsiders about ways to improve their way of life, as the challenge is part of the point. They would rather improve their current way of doing things, rather than adopt what they see as a shortcut from outsiders. This is not to be mistaken for any particular primitiveness or backwardness on their part. In fact, the Banuk have surprisingly sophisticated mathematical knowledge, and are able to construct mechanisms from machine parts that rival the Oseram's creations, including an electric drill to drill through ice, and weapons that can let loose lightning and launch spikes of ice. As for their relations with other tribes, they have few. The Banuk have been traditionally isolationist and show very little interest in other tribes. That changed somewhat when the Mad Sun King of the Karja launched the Red Raids. Banuk was too remote from the Karja to be truly threatened, but Weraks of the southern border regions were hit hard and suffered casualties, many killed and others taken captive. The Karja forced Banuk shamans with their knowledge of machines to help them capture machines for use in the human sacrifices of the Sun Ring. After the Sun King was cast down and replaced, the new Sun King released all captives and tried to make peace with the Banuk and other tribes. Broadly, the Banuk accepted. They allowed Karja hunters to enter their lands to hunt machines, Karja scribes to come among them and study their ways. They even sent an envoy to the Karja court to share Banuk culture to be recorded by the Karja. Nonetheless, suspicion, avoidance, and outright hostility toward the Karja persists among the Weraks of the Cut, the region most hit during the raids, and some Banuk have been known to attack Karja visitors in the region. It's difficult to say what will become of the Banuk now, as they open up to other tribes and the derangement challenges their traditional understanding of the world, but some change seems inevitable. Okay, the Banuk actually got nicely fleshed out in Horizon Zero Dawn's 1 DLC, The Frozen Wilds, which I was pretty happy to see. It's a good DLC, and the Banuk, a bit like the Oseram, were underdeveloped in the main game. Anyway, take a look at my other lore videos if you like. Either way, I hope you have a nice day.